If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe. I live stream a fair amount, but I also put out lots of content, educational stuff about plants, but I'm trying to help you to move towards a fruit jungle where you have year-round fruit being produced in your yard. Or like this, plenty more available. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this one. If you turn on notifications, you'll be notified as new streams come out, and they do every day. Okay, so the topic of this video is, what would Maslow think of your backyard? And I'm specifically referring to the two needs in Maslow's hierarchy, which is well known, and that's food and shelter. So I think recent events make everybody start to think about the systems that we exist within, and see the shakiness there, and think about what would happen if we had to depend on ourselves. So I think it's important that we think about these things, not from a paranoid place, but from just a place. This may be a location to stream from. I think I'm still connected to Wi-Fi, but yeah, OneStepNow is where I'll do the philosophical stuff. Go check that out if you're interested in those types of ideas. Okay, relocate spot. So the systems that are external to us, and then the systems which are right under our feet. In this case, this is the system right under my feet. I've helped foster and create over the years, and now it's a system that serves me directly. Everywhere I look, it serves me. And this is kind of the idea about creating your own fruit jungle, your own backyard, paradise, regardless of whether it's in a Florida environment or in a Connecticut environment or whatever, or California, or creating a system that serves you. Just as a general topic. I'm trying to stay out of the wind here too, so it's not too windy. But if you had to serve your Maslow hierarchy of needs edibility factor from your own backyard, could you do it? And then if you were looking at your yard from that lens, what kinds of plants would you pick? I love these types of ideas. Well, there's another YouTuber that I am working on collaborating with, that's out in California, in Los Angeles actually, and I'll share more on this in the upcoming weeks, but kind of struggling to create a vegetable garden in his backyard, which is rather small, which is rather typical of most of us, right? We don't have a huge space, so we have to figure out how to get things in there. And what are some things that will grow and produce food? If you're just looking at food, just the food part, whole foods from your yard to the cake hole, so to speak, what would you pick? And I've been thinking about this quite a bit. Like, what would grow well in an environment like Malibu, California, that would also grow well in Florida? And what could I send him for him to try out? And so I've been thinking about the environment there, and in California, it's essentially a very dry, arid area by human irrigation systems. But I think I would pick something that grows well in a desert, or that is adapted well to a desert, so you could have to use them. It would make the greatest use possible of any available water, like the cactus, like this edible, thornless pad cactus. So I'm planning on sending him one of these. I may even do something fancy, like seal up the end of the cutting so that it doesn't desiccate and lose water, with a little bit of melted crayons. Why would I do that? Well, who wouldn't want to melt some of your kids' old crayons and seal up the end of an edible pad cactus to send to Malibu, California? That's why you do it. It could be like watching the news or something, so infinitely more satisfying. Look at this. This is just an example of what I mean. The Mickey Mouse pad cactus, which is, this one's kind of created to some extent. And the two ears, you could just trim them to make them like that, which is a fun thing to do in a pot. So I plan to send him some of these to give a go. I think they'll grow very well. And they taste like about like cucumbers. Now, if I could snap one off probably and just show you. Oh yeah, there's the perfect. And be fine. So it'll mail just fine too. And here's the other thing I'm considering sending that I think would also do well in an arid environment. It would make the most use of the water possible. You'd have to keep it watered, but it's going to rock. And that's this green sugarcane. So that's another one that's easy to mail. A cutting of grows rapidly. Look at this. These want to go. There's no doubt. Do you see this? Feel it with your thumb, nice and firm. Look at all those roots. You cut it here, you know, neatly, a pair of loppers. Cut it here, and then you, again, crayon wax, seal both ends. You could actually make them fairly small. And you plant those with the bud on the side, you know, where you want, you know, pointing up. Let's just put it that way. And this, if you plant it in a pot, say the base of the pot is like this, you plant it in the pot, it will actually come out and grow straight up out of the ground and actually be, that's the best way to grow these edible chewing sugarcane. And the reason they call this edible sugarcane chewing cane is because it's very easy to cut it here, cut it here. I should do a video on how to eat sugarcane. Again, that's a useful thing because it's not really that easy to understand. It's like eating a rock. It's so hard. Can you hear that? This is rock solid. There is no way I could possibly affect it with my hand, but peel, you have to basically cut off this exterior skin and it leaves a very fibrous interior, you know, kind of center. And that's what you chew on. And because it has those very strong fibers down the center, what you chew on is some of the plant material comes loose in the sugar, but those fibers stay in your hand, so it gives you something to hold on to, and you just keep chewing on down the cane. And it's called chewing cane. You can't add a G to it, by the way. And this time of year, you get to see the sugars doing their thing as it gets a little cooler. That redness there on the cane, just beautiful. Classic Florida green sugarcane. And I think that will grow well in Malibu, California. Now, would I send something like a banana tree, like these muso or these papaya? No, probably not. You know, these are things that like the more humid world. Can you grow a banana in California? Absolutely. I think it's a lot easier in Florida. No offense to my friends in California. I love California. Look at that. Beautiful Musa banana pup. Now, banana pups happen like, look at how strong and vigorous this thing is, really. Just shows you, that's a great variety for Florida. But as these, you know, it's expanding a little bit. You can see about how far it grows from the center tree. Always very happy and always tracking my banana pups very carefully, like a expectant mother. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep that one. I might just expand out. I keep dabbling with this idea of expanding this out to 5 varieties of sugarcane, and I'm sure I probably will. So that pup, I believe, I'll keep it in that spot. That's the direction I want it growing, out this way as opposed to towards my neighbor's fence. So that's a good one. So anyway, yeah, if I had to evaluate my yard in terms of Maslow's hierarchy food, well, I would plant a lot of this. I would plant a lot of sugarcane. This at least gives you the glucose you need to survive and have just a copious amount of other things. This yard would be packed in, but I would use maximum use of structure and space and light to achieve edibility. And start out with just focusing on the pad cactus and show how we can do that in one little corner of LA, hopefully. For watching Eat Your Backyard. If you like these kinds of videos, please subscribe. I'm going to continue to explore this Maslow concept and now onto the shelter side of it in future streams. So hope you subscribe, hit the like button if you like it, and have a great day. Thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard.